So we're on. Thank you so
Yay!
really a huge honor to have you on the show. I love your energy. I love the music. You're such a rad girl. But for people that don't recognize you, who the hell are you?
Dude, I'm just some chick, who likes to have a good time and play rock and roll. Suzi Moon. Hi everybody out there. Yeah, no, I'm really stoked to be on the show. When you hit me up and asked me, I was like, absolutely, because especially with the last 2 years and everything being kind of weird, I've made more friends by doing interviews and Zoom and calls like that than I have from going out and going to actual shows. I haven't been able to we haven't been able to go to a lot of shows. So it's a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would say it's funny, but it is not because it was not fun those 2 years. But yeah, same here. I never used that much Skype and
Right.
Zoom in my goddamn life than I
Same.
did during the years. But the good
Yeah.
thing, we're almost done. I think the worst is behind us.
Hmm.
We see like the energy, getting stronger with
Yeah.
people. I think
Yeah.
everybody are ready to get back to shows.
I think you're right. I think we are through the worst of it. Hopefully nothing weird shows up and like throws us all off course,
No.
especially for artists like us. We get so much from the person to person contact, and the energy of a live show. Nothing compares to that, and you can watch live streams all day long and it just makes you want to be at the show, you
Yeah.
know, like more than anything. But it's been successful for me in other ways because I was really able to. I mean, I'm a go 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 kind of person, It's really hard for me to like stop and chill. So it forced me to like really pause and think about what I wanted my life to look like, when we get out of this thing. So I was able to do a lot of recording, a lot of cool art projects, and really work with my band that I've been playing with. We kept like our little bubble and stuff and just get really tight as a band, as a unit, make music videos. And since things have kind of like been on the up and up, we've been getting out, we've been able to play shows, we've been releasing all those videos, releasing all the music, so it definitely wasn't time wasted. Yeah. And but damn, am I ready to get on the fucking road?
We are all. And yeah, I love that energy. And it's so cool that you took, that time off to continue creating,
Hmm.
it's a good thing because I think that a lot of people struggle during the pandemic, and art is a good way to just get off, and
Hmm.
get yourself in a place where it's just about you think a lot, and I think that a lot of people like me realize that music and art is therapy, that you
Oh yeah.
artists all therapists, you should have that salary. Government, come on, pay them,
I'm not
they're
paid as
therapy.
much as the therapist gets paid. Who do I
Yeah.
talk to about it?
But
Yeah.
for people in Quebec that never heard that project, how that crazy idea came
Mhm.
out, and how did you start it up in music?
Yeah, well, I've been playing music for a really long time since I was a teenager. I joined my older sister's punk band and we signed to Hellcat Records, put out 2 albums with Hellcat, toured the world before I was 22 even,
Wow.
and did a lot of hard road time, so that kind of just instilled in me like this work ethic with music, because very early on I saw like the process, the writing, the recording, the releasing, the touring to support it,
Yeah.
and the punk rock community, that is my home, that's where I belong. I don't make sense out there working at a bank, or something like this. Like it's just not how I was made, so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go all in on this for life, and success, it means different things to different people. And for me, contributing to our community, to our punk rock scene, to the records, you know, that I love, that you love, that have inspired us, if I can give back and contribute to that, like that is a big success for me, just to be a part of this, you know, because punk rock means so much to me and has given me a really cool life where I've gotten to do fucking extraordinary things, you know, and do it my way pretty much, you know, the whole time. In punk rock, you get to be whoever the fuck you want to be, you know, and you're embraced for that and encouraged to be your weird fucking awesome self, you know. And I don't know, you know, another kind of community that's like that. I mean, in music in general is very encouraging of these things, but punk rock is just that thing that speaks to my soul. And I wanted to give back by just joining it, you know, and doing the best work I can do.
And you're right, amen. You know, it's success for a lot of people is money, and
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of other people, it's having a like on Facebook. And it for me, it's not that. Success is being able to do something that you love and
Mm-hmm.
without compromising, and
Yeah.
grow up as a human, through that process, and reaching out people that want to do it, and love what you're doing. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's sharing, it's giving to each other's like that energy, through art.
Yeah.
It's cool that people like you understand that. And as you say, you were in a band that have really huge success at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, and it's hard when you're young to
Oh yeah.
understand every step of it. It's going so fast, and people think it's the glam thing, but you mentioned it. It's the studio time, it's the
Yeah.
road, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard, and to
Yeah.
find a
With
balance.
with a band like Civet, you know, it went like this. It went up and up and up and up, and then it crashed and it burned, as as things in life do, you know.
Yeah,
And it's like you can't gauge your worth on like one moment in time. Like I am not just that one part of my life where things were like big like this and it was a lot of this and that, you know. It's like nope, you got to keep going, and it's the roller coaster, you know. And so anytime I've got like any sort of success with my music, like I fucking take that shit and I like hold it tight, and I'm like, I love this thing, this moment, you know, I have to cherish this moment because it's gonna get hard again. It will always fucking get hard again, you know? But if you have something that you love that motivates you, it's not work, you know, so much. And for me, when I get to play a show and like share that space with other people, like I get so much from the
yeah,
people in the crowd. That is what I'm doing it for. Like I want to be in that room. I want to feel their excitement. I want to hopefully give them something that I felt when I was a kid watching other shows, you know, and like, you know, it's like this exchange of energy. And it's healing. It's really cool, you know. And so being deprived of that for the last 2 years, I hope that everybody's ready to fucking let me get in their face because I'm coming for them. Like
yeah, we are.
absolutely.
And I think it's gonna be crazy for you because people got more time during the pandemic, so they listen to way more music, and a lot of
Hmm.
people like me got to work from home, so
Yeah.
you listen to more extreme and loud music because there's no
Hmm.
one around you. So I think that you're gonna have a huge wave of new fans that discovered that project recently,
Yeah.
and people gonna go crazy when we like in the US, it started up full capacity, but right now in Quebec, it's going to be in a month and a half. So
Hmm.
people going to look for the best summer of their life, and you're going
Yeah.
to be the soundtrack to it.
I hope so. That would be cool. And I hope that everybody found a new band that they love during this time. Because that's what's going to get us all through it, you know? And I've been so lucky to work with Pirates Press Records. That is a label that I have admired for years, you know, and they continuously put out really, really great music by
Yeah,
upcoming bands, by more like bands that have been out for a long time. The product is so fucking good, you know, their records look so good and so professional. When that happened for me, like that is a dream come true right there. You know, that's like one of the major milestones in my career is working with a label that I admire and them seeing something in me, you know. And we work so well together. I love that team. Like just every day. It's just open communication, blah, 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 this, and we work together to make shit happen. And everybody's really excited, which makes me want to work harder for them, because they're investing their time, their energy into me. So I want to work as hard as I can to make it worth it for them. And it's
Wow.
like a match made in heaven.
You're right, and a label should be always behind every single band, as supporting, as it's not just about promoting. It's just
Mhm.
being there as a friend and as a human being. And that was rough in the '90s, at the end of the '90s, because there
Oh yeah.
was so much money involved in major
Mhm.
labels. And that's the cool thing about the punk scene. It really explodes in the '90s. Money were everywhere.
Yeah.
Then we're getting paid like huge amount of money,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
everything disappeared. And a lot of people realize, okay, we're gonna do it our
Yeah.
own way and create our label and everything. And that's the label is a Pirate is a good example of that. It's
Oh yeah.
people that want to change the music scene and want to make it better. So it's not about the money anymore. It's just about the community, and it
Mhm.
changed everything. And I think that's why it's so interesting right now, and why people are so dedicated to that, because it's fun, it's a family thing, and
Yeah.
like you said, punks, it's everybody out there, all the misfit, all the weird kids.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're all welcome, and
Yeah.
people get it.
And we're like empowered to do as much of it as we can on our own, because then it's like our self-contained scene. It's like we got our scene back, you know um and labels and bands, different labels, everyone's like cool with each other too, which is really awesome. It's like, no, this is for the greater good of our scene, which I love. Like, my band is going out on tour with a band called Ravagers, who are from Baltimore. Love Ravagers. I've been a fan of theirs for years.
Ooh,
Played together at Punk Rock Bowling in 2019.
wow.
Same stage, same weekend, and I was like, I fucking love these guys. I hadn't heard of them before. And their record label, Spaghetti Town Records, and my record label, Pirates Press Records, we're all working together to make the
Wow.
tour as best as it can be, because our bands are very compatible. There's similarities in like spirit there, and it's like, great, let's all get together, let's make the best tour we can, and fuck some shit up on the way.
Because it's all about punk rock.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
So, with time, I'm always curious. Is it more easy for you to write music and create songs, or it's still a huge challenge every time, since you give everything you can and trying to do the best you can?
well, I would consider myself a songwriter first and foremost. That is the gift I was given. That's my thing. Like, I'm here to put music out into the world. All the other stuff is just really fucking fun, you know? But with songs, it's like, I have this theory, and I've heard other people talk about it too, where it's like, I don't feel like the songs are really mine ever. I'm not special. I'm not good enough. Nobody's really good enough. These songs come from somewhere else, because music belongs to all of us. And if you think about the great songs, and I'll just throw out something like John Lennon's Imagine, a song that speaks to fucking pretty much everybody that hears it, or in the way that Tom Petty could write something so universally relatable that, when you hear American Girl, millions of girls are saying that's me. And there's something, I think, metaphysical about that. There's something extra special. And when you have like the gift of songwriting, you have to put in the work and like show up for it too. So when I write something like really special, and my favorite songs I've ever written have literally just popped into my head, like out of nowhere. I don't usually get very far by sitting down with my guitar. I'm not really a riff kind of person. Um, my guitar is the tool that I use to bring my songs to life, but the melodies and like the spirit of the song comes from somewhere inside of me, and I consider it a gift. So whether it's me sitting around and pulling that song out of the fucking sky, or another person in another country or another state or wherever at that same moment, if that song is floating around, I think pretty much anyone can reach down and like grab it, and then interpret it, which is why music, there's only like 12 different fucking bars or some shit like that. I'm not like super into like the technical side of things, but like there's only so much you can do with music, but it's like the unique personal way that we interpret the melody we're given, or the riff, or the little ding ding ding, that like that's what makes a song come to life. So I'm just a channel, I'm just one person with one unique way of putting a spin on something that was given to me by something bigger than me, and it's just my job to do the best I can with it, and let that interpretation come out honestly and authentically, and do what's best for the song. I know a lot of people haven't heard really like my full range of songwriting, but I've been writing since I was 12 years old. Before I even picked up a guitar, I had songs and I heard them in my head. The band that I had before I went solo, Suzi Moon, was called Turbulent Hearts. We were a 3-piece punk band in LA, and I call that Suzi Moon, but like with training wheels, because I was really like getting my confidence being a front woman, leading the band. It can be very intimidating to go into a room of other musicians and be like, okay, so I'm the boss and we're playing my songs and this is how my song goes, But I've been lucky to play with people who are like, we love your songs. We want to play your songs. Tell me how they go, So you have to find like the confidence in you to lead a band, right? And when you find really good people that like get it and click with you, like it's all for the benefit of the song, And Turbulent Hearts, I'm so proud of, because that was the first project where my songs were really getting out into the world. And we released self-released 3 EPs with 5 songs each. So there's a good 15, 16, 17 songs out there actually, because we did a single too, that are like my songs, and I can do fast hard punk songs. I can do like poppier stuff like you're hearing with Gold Record Autograph, my new single. I really love like a good fucking ballad, um, but it's all rock and roll is the thing, because it all comes from my spirit of rock and roll. And you're not just going to get one thing with me. And I'm not going to let anybody put me in a box like that, because then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is doing music because music told me to do music, So I have to do what's best for every song. And when my full length album comes out later this year, I think people are going to get a better idea of who I am as a songwriter, and hear more of a story. It's kind of difficult with 3 songs at a time to really paint a picture of who I am. They're fun though. It's so cool to just kind of blast them out like that. But this is why artists have always valued a full album, because artistically you're really painting a picture, So I just want everybody to know you ain't seen nothing yet. Like,
Cool. And it's so interesting. You mentioned a point that I find, wow. First of all, you're such a smart person and you have so much energy. I respect that so much. But you're right. I think that, songs came out like this, and it's in your head. It's there. It's always there. For me, I can't do that, So I have so much respect for people that have that talent. But it's really, yeah, you're right. And as you said, I think the evolution of writing, it's a tough process. So if you
mm-hmm,
started up really young, and I see that through the lyrics, it's really
mm-hmm,
strong. You really play with words, you use the right word, right sentence, so it adds an impact with the music, and
mm-hmm.
that is brilliant. Wow.
Thank you. Well, I try to be better. I really do, like, because that is my craft, That's like the one thing I know I'm good at. Like, I'm good at other stuff, but it's like, how some people are like, oh, I work on cars, so I'm going to learn how to be the best at working on cars, So I'm a songwriter, so I try to be the best I can be at writing songs, and I don't just listen to punk rock, you know, I'm a sucker for a great song. So if that's a pop musician, you know, or old R&B, I listen to a lot of classical guitar here at my house, just instrumental, you know, and there's just music is so fucking cool, man. Like, there's not one genre that's better than the other. All of these people who have created this stuff for us to enjoy, you know, it really all comes from the same place, and it's meant for everyone. So I'm always trying to, well, I do like to be a little funny in my songs, and I don't know if anybody catches that, but I crack myself up because I like to put in little things that are just a little bit sassy and a little bit like fucked up, but I don't know how obvious it is, but at least it makes me happy, you know. And the relatability thing, you know, you'll listen to somebody like Bob Dylan and it's like, how the fuck did you do any of that? You know, what the fuck is going on? Like, how? But he must have been so fucking tapped in, you know, and just tapped right into that. And it
Yeah.
is absolutely a gift, but you have to respect the gift. And like, I can't do that shit, but I'm trying to be more like respectful of the process. And it's hard for me. I've always been one of those writers that tends to go in a more like autobiographical kind of way. It's like almost like you're reading my diary, but I'm lying just a little bit to make it a bit more interesting, because that's what stories are about. You know, if you're going to tell a story, make it interesting. So there's like truth, but then there's also definitely fiction in there. You know, but the relatability thing, if I can take it a little bit out of myself so more people can see themselves in the picture, that's a good thing. But honestly, you just have to do what feels right to you, and, you know, try to write all the time and be open to it. And then some of my favorite songs that I've ever written came to me when I was just trying to fall asleep, you know. And actually, fun because the new EP, my new EP Animal, is coming out on April 1st on Pirates Press Records. I'm so excited. And that the title track Animal, it's the second song on the EP, came to me when I was laying in bed and I couldn't fucking fall asleep, right? And I'm like just dreaming, like daydreaming about like playing a big festival. And I was like, man, what would I wear? You know, like at this imaginary festival that I'm imagining myself playing. And I was like, what song am I playing? You know, then all of a sudden, like the fucking song came to me, and like it started kind of like, you know, I was visualizing myself like to this like beat, you know. And so I got up and I came in the living room, and my cat was there and she was sleeping. And I was like petting her for a minute, and she was like, "Yay, I love this." And then she's like, "Yeah," you know, like cats do. Like they'll go from being all like to like meow meow meow, you know. And I was like, "I love you, you little fucker." And I was like, "Yeah, so I'm an animal. I'm a fucking animal, you know." And I like started writing this song really just for my cat, because I was sitting there, you know. I'm a fucking animal. I'm gonna catch you, scratch you, bleed you dry, you know, and like just joking about the cat. But then as the song went on, I realized I was actually talking about being a woman. And like like it kind of like evolved in a way where it was like, you know, I'm not your little pet anymore, and you can't tame me, blame me, change my mind. The clock is ticking, running out of time, which is like really like about my biological clock, because I'm 31, and every month I have my fucking period and it sucks. And every woman has to go through this. And it's like you're fighting your body every single month. It wants to have a baby so badly. And I'm like, no, no, not yet, you know? And like, so like I kind of turned this song into being about being a woman. And like, you know, I'm restless when the moon is full, and you know, and like, you know, sometimes you get put in a cage by people and breaking out of it. So it's my favorite song on the EP, and there's an awesome video for it that I can't wait for people to see. And it's just really fucking hard. So we've got like gold record autograph, which is like really light and kind of like poppy, almost. Like for me, I was like, okay, it's like Josie and the Pussycats meets Elvis Costello and the Attraction,
Oh,
you
it's so
know.
reference. I love that the soundtrack of Josie and the Pussycat is amazing. And
It's the best
Roger, I
record of
told
all
you,
time.
Jake, he got a band reassure, and they released the cover songs from that
Really?
soundtrack. And I was like, I have to listen to it again.
Oh my
But
God. Yeah.
you're such you're right, and I did I have the radio show, but I start up a TV contract, and
Hmm.
I'm talking about punk. And the last chronic I did, the band had a feature with Kate Dress, a girl from Montreal here. They got a punk band called Rope Skills. It's
Cool.
all about girl, and I was talking about that. I'm doing story punk about the history of punk band. And girl was always there. If you look at the
Yeah.
Germ, you look at X, there always been girls involved in the scene, but it
Yeah.
was really tough for them to get some recognition at that time
Hmm.
and be able to take their place. Fast forward to now, it's way
Yeah.
more easy because it's not the label with all the guy behind that say you have to do that, you have to dress. You're
Hmm.
your own boss because you can
Yeah.
do it DIY. So we see more and more girls just fucking rocking and being such awesome because they don't have those string anymore. And that's
Yeah.
so cool because I can believe that the mentality of guy back at that time and still now is to repress something that is uh maybe better than us in a way.
Not better, just different. There's room
Equal.
for everybody, you know? And if it was 1988 and my boyfriend was in a hair metal band, I probably would have volunteered to be the chick on top of the car. Like, wait, you know, better me than some chick they hire, you know? But I just finished reading a Madonna biography, and she actually, I don't know if you know this, but she used to play Max's Kansas City in New York in the early 80s and played with like fucking not Devo, Beastie Boys though, and like more. She was kind of, when she first started, she had a band and she was singing with a real band, and they were a little bit more like punk. Um, and she fucking showed up to every single meeting that her label ever had before she was a priority to them at all. They like didn't really think she was good, but she showed up to every meeting ready to learn and find out what she could do to be involved and put her face in front of those people, and fucking never stopped. Like just never stopped showing up and self-promoting herself. She would take her fucking big old discs over to all the DJs in New York and like self-promoted the shit out of herself. Like she like forced a spot for herself in that industry, and it didn't come to her very easily. And it's like now, all these years later, Madonna, Queen of Pop, and it's like, what would have happened if she didn't believe in herself enough to keep pushing? Because nobody was doing it for her, like she had to fucking fight super hard to get heard by a lot of these people. And it's like, you have to have that courage and the
Yeah.
confidence. Even when you don't have confidence, just pretend you have confidence for a minute to send an email or whatever, and I'm getting better about it now. I've been in this industry for a long time, and I really value the relationships I have, and I appreciate people's time when they want to work with me and stuff. But like, also, don't fucking make me look like an idiot. And I know what my songs should sound like, and I deserve as much respect as the men that I'm working with. You know,
Totally.
I will always treat somebody with respect, but I just recently had a situation where somebody kind of made me feel pretty shitty, and I wasn't feeling very respected by it. So I'm gonna work with somebody else because, if you can't treat me the same as your other clients, essentially, like then I'm not gonna give you my business. And you know, trust me, I know a little bit about something. I know a
Been
little
there,
bit.
done that.
And I just want to work with people for the best thing, so everyone involved is like fucking stoked. And it shouldn't be that hard. But for some people, it is.
It's weird, and thank you for doing that and sharing that because I've got a little girl. She's 12, and I
Hmm.
just imagine whatever she want to do in life,
Mm-hmm.
work or music or art. I just don't want her to be there and find it more hard than a guy because she's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense. So I always see women as that,
Yeah.
what I want for my little girl is that situation is normal or fucking not. If not,
Mm-hmm.
change. That's it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're at the crisis point in human history
Mm-hmm.
where there's a huge clash between generation. Our parents were
Yeah.
in another world,
Mm-hmm.
and us grow up in little one foot in that world, one
Right.
foot in.
Yeah.
It's not right, and the new generation they grow up in, it's not right. So
Mm-hmm.
we see that more and more with the Me Too movement, where every riot against racism. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we're at a place where it's gonna change forever and for good.
Yeah, I think so
Maybe
too.
I'm naive, but
And I know that your little girl can do anything she fucking wants to do, you know?
yeah,
And like sometimes you do have to fight for it. And all of my career, people have asked me, like, how have you been treated differently, than, and I do think there's an element of like, if you if you kind of feed into it, you're gonna see more of it. I've been really lucky to work with mostly just fucking awesome guys. Like the men that I've worked with have been fucking great. Um, and I have come across people at shows saying shit to me, but at a certain point too, you gotta not let anybody fucking say shit to you, you know? And
yeah,
that's something that only I can do. And I like to play show don't tell. And so if so I'm instead of getting into some sort of altercation, I'll just get up there and I'll fucking destroy so hard, that 20 minutes after the show they're coming over and asking me to sign something, or take a picture, and it's like you have to protect yourself and like your energy in a way too, and I think people really respond to like what you put out, I'm very grateful I don't deal with a lot of like creepy dudes, nobody like touching me or anything like that. And maybe it's just because I have been doing this for a while, so I have like kind of like a tougher edge, where like they're probably scared and they should be. Um,
yeah,
but
damn right they should be.
there's also power in female friendships too, and that's a big thing. Hopefully your daughter finds like her crew of like other women and girls, and like like together they can kind of navigate this thing, because I am proudly female and like proudly feminine. That's like a big part of my thing, is like I've always been a very girly girl. I love makeup, I love outfits, I love feeling sexy, I like to celebrate that, and I love seeing other people feel confident and sexy, and like I think that's a really really good thing. Like just own your fucking shit. There's me, and then there's like the Megan Foxes of the world. Like people are beautiful in so many different ways, and like I like that right now people are celebrating that a lot more, like different types of beauty, really, and like um you are beautiful innately because you are a human and you're here and you're having these exchanges with people, like, so like celebrate that, like do what makes you feel good, build yourself up, own it, share it, and so like that's just my thing. Like I like to be this way, and hopefully it inspires, if it can inspire one other person to just you know fucking find themselves to be really hot. Like go for it.
Wow. Yeah, and you're right. It's tough to be yourself. When you go out, a lot of people play games. But I think that's the cool thing about punk. It's accepting that you are just yourself. You're
Mhm.
nothing else, and you can be whatever you want. If you just accept it. And yeah, I know it's a struggle for a lot of people, but it's cool to see that people like you that talk about it, and a lot of people from there are seeing that and just like, I want to do that too, let's do it. It's like I always say with the radio show, start your zine,
Yeah.
start a radio show, start your band, just conquer the world.
Do it. Yeah. Do it. Have fun. You'll find people too that want to be around you, that help you feel even better, you
Yeah.
know, and like that's really important. And honestly, no matter what, being a teenager is the worst shit that will happen to anybody ever. Like, there's no way around that. You are going to feel ugly every day. Your clothes are stupid. Okay. Life sucks. And, and like, there's just no way around that. You know, like, you
You
have to
have
go
no
through this.
money.
Like, you know, life is the worst. Nobody likes me. I hate myself. Like, everybody has to go through this. But I think, like, on the other side of that, you know, because I've met some really cool teenagers at some of my shows that their parents have actually brought them to my show, you know, and I've seen them kind of just being all like bummed out, like, I fucking hate that I'm here with my mom, you know, but you know, and like I'll go over and I'll be like, "What's up?" You know, like, "Are you good?" You know, like, "Don't worry, like, shit's gonna get totally fucking better." Hi. Yeah. So it's like, if you can get past that hump, like, everything's gonna be fucking cool, you know, and really like the 20s and the 30s are like where things start to blossom like a lot more, and people come into their own. So just right now, like, I'm still figuring it out, but it's better than it used to be, you know.
It's a quest for life. But you're right.
It is. Yeah.
And it we see more and more, young kids, at their beginning of their 20s, playing punk rock, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so cool. I see those girls from UK. I think it's Leloy. They're playing Ramones cover,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's so great to see that there's a new generation of kids playing punk rock differently, because that's the wheel of music. It's going to be different. There's going to be other artists, like maybe not like Nirvana. There was something that maybe it's more tough now since the
Sure.
industry changed it up, but there's going to be a new generation and people are ready for that. And
Oh,
we
definitely.
need new
Yeah.
headliners, and festival and everything. And that's why we need Suzi Moon and festival every fucking where.
I'll do my best. If they call me, I'll be there. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
fast. We want to see you at the Puzza. I know the guys from the Puzza
Oh,
and girls
cool.
behind the Puzza. Write
Yeah,
to Suzi Moon. We want her in Quebec.
I would love that. That would be super cool. Yeah, I haven't gotten to tour Canada since like 2010 was the last time. So, very overdue to come back and visit.
So, how's gonna be the years after the release? Is there tour? Is there? We're such in the middle of the end of the crisis, if we want.
Um,
It's gonna be for Suzi Moon for the rest of the year.
yeah, already the year is kind of, it's booked up pretty well. So, April 1st, you know, we're releasing the EP Animal. A little before that, we're doing a short tour with our friends Teenage Bottle Rocket in like the Northwest region. Yay.
All
And
right.
I love Ray. Yeah. And then we're doing the full US rest of the tour with our buddies Ravagers that I talked about. So that's going to be awesome. Yeah. We are playing a festival in Chicago in June. I'm gonna say it's like June 24th. It's called Motoblot. It's a cool like motorcycle rock and roll festival, 3 days in Chicago. So I'm really excited about that. And then we're gonna go to Europe. If we can go to Europe, we're going to Europe. We have the dates booked. You know, everything's ready to go. It's still just kind of waiting on the COVID thing. You know, like, if nothing gets in our way, like, that is the plan for the summertime, is to be over there for like 3.5 weeks. And
Wow.
also the UK also. And then when we come back, the full length album is going to come out. So that'll be probably August, late August, early September, about that time. And we're figuring out the booking stuff for fall. So we definitely want to be on the road again for fall. So basically, my year is kind of like sorted out, you know? Yeah. It's good because, like, now we just have to do the little things to make each of those things really successful, you know? And I work well with like timelines and deadlines, you know? So it's like, now we have to check things off the to-do list and go out there and play the music and have as much fun as possible.
It's cool that you play, with the media and everything, it's things are so fast. So if you release the records at the beginning of the years, 3 months later, people are like, "Oh, what's going on with you? We released a
Yeah.
record 3 months ago." It's such a long time. So
Oh yeah.
releasing an EP and then the full length, it gonna show people like, God damn it, she don't sleep. She's always active.
Yeah. Well, see, that's a lie because it's so funny, like the way that the everything works, with getting a vinyl released.
Yeah.
You have to allot so much time for it to actually be sent in and pressed and packaged and shipped out. Already we recorded the Animal EP in August of 2021, and it won't be out until April. To me, as an artist, that feels like a really, really long time. It's
I know.
not actually when you have to count backwards to how long it takes to do things. And then the full length album that's coming out after that, I started working on it 2 years ago. So by the time it comes out, I'm ready to do another one, you know? But it's just the way the industry works. The releases are always a little behind, and like it's kind of staggered like that. So it's good because then if everybody thinks that it's happening like that, then I could be secretly doing something else behind the scenes, and then have it ready to go for the next.
But it's cool because I always said that the social media are the monster you always have to fed, and it's tough to stay like constantly in the news fed. So it's a good way, like for people like I said, to see that you work your ass all the time, and
Yeah.
you deserve it, all the success and everything. I mean, like I repeat myself, but it's an honor. I mean, I'm doing the show for people like you, artists like you, that not just push yourself, but push the scene, and put it in
Mhm.
another level. And thank you so much for losing money in the name of music.
My pleasure. I would do it all over again, really. It's
So
been a joy.
it's like I said, it was such fun doing this interview. We're gonna wait in Quebec and Canada for you. Of course, there's a special place in the heart. We're gonna do a huge special.
You have a
Uh,
special L for me? Okay. I'm excited. I want to come back very badly. And we know like Canada is for sure someplace we want to get to as soon as possible. So right now, I think still we have to wait a little bit, until it's like all clear, but it's on the top of the list, like definitely.
it's so cool to hear. People go grab. Of course, the EP when's gonna be released. Wait for
Yeah.
the new full length. How's the best way for people to directly, sorry, encourage you?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Well, I'm always checking my Instagram, so they can find me at the Suzi Moon. And if they want to order the vinyl, which is gorgeous, by the way, it's this beautiful teal blue, and the vinyl itself is neon yellow, and I'm
Wow.
proud of it. It's a packaging and the artwork and all that stuff is like another really big part of this for me. Like artistically, I love to envision how these things are going to live on people's shelves, because punk rockers, we love our vinyl, and it's so important to have a package that is striking and interesting and artsy, so I hope people like that. I put a lot of love into the design of it, so it's hopefully on somebody's shelf for a really long time, and someday their children find it, and then their children's children find, and it just always like kind of stands out a little bit. So they can order it from piratespressrecords.com. And then you just Google me. I'm out there. The links will send you to me, And if anyone wants to send me a message, I always write back. I
Oh,
love, yeah, I love talking to people who love music as much as I do. It's something that, we all share. So don't be shy. Come and say hi to me. And I can't wait to meet all my new Canadian friends at the show when that happens.
you're right. I always say to people, write to artists, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm shy. I'm gonna look like a fucking groupie," or no, just share what emotion you got
Yeah.
listening to their music or see them live. You know, I think it's important.
Mhm.
It's the ultimately reward in a
Yeah.
way more better than money and everything. And when you got people that know music writing you know, it's great. I love that song, that track.
Mhm.
You're just like, wow,
Oh, fucking
it's
awesome. Yeah. And especially if, say, it's someone in another country that I'm not going to see in person for a long time. Like, well, now I know. And now when I come to the show, we can talk about how we talk to each other online, and how cool is this? We're finally meeting. And it does. It means a lot to hear that the music had some sort of impact on somebody, or, it's their favorite workout song or the song they put on when they're mad at their boss or whatever. So, all of that stuff is really special and very rewarding, like you said.
wow. Suzi, thank you for your time. You're really generous. And we're going to do, I repeat myself, a huge special, of course. And
Woo!
congratulations with the EP. And of course,
Thank
the upcoming full length. And have
you.
fun on tour.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been really fun.
I should warn you, you're
Mhm.
stuck in a false contract that you never signed, that doesn't exist, to come back as many times as you fucking want.
Done.
And next time, what would be rad is
Mhm.
you present the playlist of songs that you love.
Oh, cool. I would love
That
that.
would be cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be cool. Give people an idea of the stuff that I like to listen to. Yeah, that would be awesome. We'll have to
Yeah,
do it around the time when the full length comes out.
that's cool.
Cool.
That's cool.
Good stuff. But
So,
hopefully
Z,
we
thank
meet, at a show. Thank you, Eric.
I will try to catch you anywhere I can near Quebec. I have to go to the States. Maybe not this year's, but next year I'm planning of doing
Okay.
something documentary about the punk scene and some band there. So cross finger it work. But yeah, I definitely have to catch you live. I know you're a live artist. I'm listening to the songs and I know you're a live person, but yeah, can't wait to see
Cool.
that energy live. And thank you so much. I repeat myself, like talking to
Yeah.
somebody that have so much energy, that are so driving about their music. It's really cool and inspire a lot of people. So
Oh,
thank
that's
you so
good.
much.
That's good. I'm really happy to talk to you. Thank you. This was fun.
So before we leave, can you do us a quick ID, just saying, like, keep it simple, just saying, "I this is," and you're listening to Prescription Punk Rock.
Yeah. Is it gonna be video or just audio?
I'm gonna use the audio, but I'm gonna put the whole interview on YouTube. So you're gonna find the that part at the end of the video.
Okay. Hey, this is Suzi Moon, and you're listening to Prescription Punk.
Damn right, one time, nail it. How professional you are.
Cool. Yeah.
Thursday,
Thank you
I
so
had
much.
a blast. You are amazing. Thank you
You're
so.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Relax. Have a nice dinner. All that good stuff.
I'm gonna clean the house. How cool is that?
Good. Good. Awesome, Eric. Mwah. Thank you so much. I'll see you
Thank you
again.
so much. Bye bye. I keep
Okay.
you in touch when I hear the interview and every
Yes.
detail, how to listen to the show. We're not a podcast show. We're live in the studio, but
Cool.
I'm gonna send you the podcast because the podcast is available right after the show.
Good. I'll share it everywhere. So thank you.
Uh, Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Cheers.